Raina Mermaid here. It's like the very first So You Wish You Could Be a Mermaid, or So You Think You Can Be a Mermaid, that we've done in forever, because I'm just like crazy busy with my business. And I have a couple other video series that I started that I want to keep doing, like Mermaid Monday, which has been so totally awesome. And like, thank you for checking things out. I'm going to sit here so you can see me better. You know, I kind of ran out of a little bit of content for the So You Want to Be a Mermaid because, whew, I'm going to sit up on my couch. Can you get there? There. My beautiful fin fun tails. Yeah, so I kind of ran out of a little bit of content because I didn't want to put everything in video. Some things just don't work in video format because it's just like a little tidbit of information here and there, so it's better for a book, better for a blog, or better for a video that's sort of like a compilation about a lot of things. And we've covered so many topics in this vlog series that like I haven't really found anything in the past little while that I felt could cover and span a whole video. And one of the things about being a professional mermaid and doing it for as many years as I've been doing it is sometimes I learn new information, or I learn new tricks, or I figure out a new way of doing things that's better than before. So that's what's happened with this. We've talked about foot pain and how monofins and tails can totally kill your feet. We've talked about this before. And for me, I've always had like a couple of little tips and tricks that you could do. But the thing is I've been having so many problems with foot cramps lately. Like, in the 8 years that I've been doing this, I maybe get foot cramps, like, you know, like if I'm really tired or if I'm doing a lot of gigs at once. And lately I've been getting them, like, not even just doing mermaid stuff, like daily. And I've been training in freediving, which is so cool. And when I get a little more into it, I want to do a whole video about that. And I'm going to interview my mentor, who is mentoring me in freediving. And we'll talk about that. It'll be so cool. That'll be an upcoming video. But for now, while I'm doing this training, one of the problems I've been having is that when I'm going to do, so you do like a static breath hold and you do a moving breath hold, and when I go to do my moving breath hold, I've been getting terrible, terrible, terrible foot cramps, to the point that my mentor had to come get me out of the pool at one point because the foot cramps got so bad, they went all the way up my legs, and then I got leg cramps, and I kind of panicked. And even though I'm a professional and I'm very comfortable in the water, and the pain was so disorienting that's exactly what happened. I got disoriented, right? So this is why you always swim with a buddy, because I had someone who could come help me in that situation. So I've been researching and talking to doctors and talking to my personal trainer and talking to people who are experienced in physiotherapy, and I've got glitter in my hair and it's making my head itchy. And I've been talking to people who are recovering from injuries, and who else have I been asking? Oh, the pharmacist. Yeah, different ways that you can deal to combat painful feet. So there's things that you can do to prevent it, and things that you can do once it happens, and then things that you can do after the fact. So there's sort of a couple of reasons why we get foot pain. There's a big misconception in the mermaid community that if you're getting foot pain, you must be doing the move incorrectly, but that's not true. Don't listen to people who say that. That could be a small factor, but the fact is monofins hurt your feet. This is the whole reason why they sell, like, training boards to put your feet on so that you can get used to having your toes pointed all the time. You're like a ballerina in the water with your toes pointed like that. So there's a reason why they sell these contraptions to help you bend your feet and get trained to it, because it's not a natural position for your feet. It's really hard on your feet. So just because you're having pain doesn't mean you're doing anything incorrectly. There's so many reasons why you could be having pain, okay? And just, you know, negative people like that, you don't need it, right? To the side, okay? So when you're wearing your monofin, it is putting pressure on your ankles. It's putting pressure on the top of your feet, so you tend to get blisters in those areas. And then it's also pointing your toes constantly. And having that hyperextension on your toes is one of the big reasons why you can get a foot cramp. And so some people get foot cramps, and it's right here in the arch of their feet, and sometimes people get them, I usually get them in my toes, and so my toes like kink in like an unnatural forward or backwards, and the cramp just goes like all the way through my foot and all the way up to my leg, and it's awful. I hate it. So I have a personal trainer. I've been getting fit. Still not like super skinny, even though I've been doing like 7 months of personal training, and I shockingly don't have like crazy abs after 7 months. Who would have thought? But it's been teaching me so much and helping me feel grounded and really helping me become stronger. And one of the things we do, obviously, is stretching. So there's a couple of different stretching techniques that you can do. you know, when you're at the gym or in your home, anything really that's going to stretch your hamstrings is going to help. A couple that are famous on the internet that a lot of people see is just sort of taking either a resistance band or something like a scarf and just sort of grabbing in between your arches and just sort of pulling back a little bit and letting it relax and feeling that good stretch, okay? There's different ways to do it. There's ones where you push and there's ones where you pull. But it's good to just not go too hard, but just feel a good stretch, okay? And this is good before and after swimming. Can't really do it while you got your tail on, but it's just good to sort of help. There's different habits that you can do around your home, too, to help you. Some people like to use hockey balls or lacrosse balls or even like rolling pins to roll under your feet. So when Mermaid Iona was visiting me last year, she was having problems with her ankles and feet. And one of the things we did was get a steel rolling pin. And you can sit at your desk and just roll your feet the same way that you would with like a roller for your body. And it can really help just get in there and stretch. And you can stand and do one at a time and put your body weight on it. Don't stand and do both, obviously. So you can stand and put all your body weight on it, but you can also be sitting at your desk while you're on your computer or something and just, you know, rubbing it back and forth across your arch. Woo. One of the things I found helped me, and I meant to bring this closer so I could show you. I wear a lot of flats and sandals, and they don't have enough arch support. So getting some insoles that had some arch support, they were like $15 at Shoppers. That made me feel way more comfortable. That really helped. When you're in the tail, some reasons why we get cramps in our body is because we're dehydrated, or we don't have enough food, or we don't have the right minerals in our body. So it's good to drink a lot of water before, after, during your gig. Some people like to do magnesium, calcium, potassium, eating a banana, things like that to get those kind of minerals, because sometimes when you get foot cramps, that's why. I find a really good way to get around it is sometimes to have a Gatorade, because they've got those electrolytes in it and they can help you deal with these cramps. Again, we talked about the pressure on your ankle and the pressure on the tops of your feet, and sometimes you'll get those cramps because you're inadvertently trying to avoid that pressure, so you're moving your feet in funny ways inside your tail. So to deal with that, you can use some booties. So you can get nice half booties online from Finesse, I don't know how they call it. And these are half booties, and they just cover that, you know, the big problem area in monofins. Or you can get full bodies from full body booties from any shop that sells diving gear, and they cover your whole foot. I will tell you, it's a lot harder to get a monofin on, especially in a silicone tail, if you're wearing booties. So make sure you've given yourself enough time to be able to do that. So we've talked about preventing it by stretching, by using rollers or a ball, by changing your routine up at the gym, drinking water, taking supplements, maybe drinking a Gatorade, getting some insoles for your shoes. Chiropractic care is a bit different in Canada than it is in the States. So in Canada, it's very heavily regulated. So what chiropractors can do for your body is really stuff that's backed up by medical science, and these people have to go to school the same way that doctors do. So I just want to give that little discretionary comment that it's a bit different in Canada than the United States. So in Canada, I see a chiropractor. I have scoliosis, and so getting a bit of an adjustment can actually help me, I find. And you know, it's sort of up in the air what chiropractic can actually do for your body, but in terms of scientific studies, one of the things that it does support is that it can help people with scoliosis. So I find getting a good crack can help align things and also take pressure off of my legs and my hips, which can lead down to your feet. So if you're in another part of the world, considering physio or chiropractic or anything like that, I would just say that make sure you research the facility that you're going to and the doctors that you're going to, and that they're qualified and that they've got good reputations and things like that, and just think critically, because some people are going to be trying to sell you snake oil and then other people are going to be really qualified and amazing individuals who know what they're doing. So for me, doing a little bit of chiro and physio really helped, and if you're someone who's finding you're having a lot of problems with foot cramps, that may be a good choice for you, right? The last thing I want to show you, I want to give a huge shout out to the Vancouver Mermaid, my friend Courtney. You can find her on Facebook. She helps run the How to Be a Professional Mermaid fan page on Facebook with me, and she also runs a website for tail safety as well that you can check out. She recommended these to me because we both recently were in a car accident, which is also another reason why I haven't been doing as many videos. We both got whiplash, and I had to deal with a concussion as well, and that's sort of been a little difficult, and just both of us sort of recuperating and trying to get back into our mermaiding, sort of swapping ideas. I happened to see her post these amazing contraptions on the internet, and there's generic versions and brand names. So the brand name is Yoga Toes, so they look like this, and they're the lovely cat hair because we have 3 cats again. Yoga Toes. They're like a silicone squishy jelly. Feel that? I guess you can't feel that, but you can hear it. Squish, squish, squish. And the way they work is not pleasant. They spread your toes and stretch those ligaments and muscles so that eventually you'll be able to spread your toes by yourself. If you're someone who does a lot of yoga, you probably can already do this, but you know, being in a mermaid costume can really constrict certain parts of your body and really make things hypertensive, so it's important to be able to counteract that some way. So for the yoga toes, I don't know if I can put them on here for the video or not because I'm still like early in my yoga toes training. I have found that wearing them a few minutes every day for a couple times a day, I'll wear them in the bath because I find them easier to actually get on in the bath. You see how much trouble this is to get on? You'll find them hard to get on if your toes are stiff and if your pinkies. If you've ever broken a toe, you might find them a little tricky to get on. Just go slow. You can buy the Yoga Toes brand names, or you can find generic versions online. These are not manicure things, so you know those foam manicure toe separators, it's not the same thing, so you can't really just use those, okay? These are like spaced specifically, and they've got a bit of resistance to them, and anyway, there's some Yoga Toes. And it can be bad for circulation, they say on the box, so if you're someone with poor feet circulation, like me, I suggest maybe doing it in the bath, or keeping your feet down low so that they're not losing blood. But yeah, so that's what it looks like, and it kind of hurts the first couple times you do it, but then as you get used to it, it's really good. And I've honestly found the past couple times I've gone mermaiding, I've used these before, and just for like 5 minutes, maybe 3 times a day, and it's made a difference. And I'm actually starting to find it's making a difference in how I walk and my balance, so those have really helped me too. And you know, I mentioned earlier about how you want to try to counteract the damage that mermaiding can do on your body. And even though mermaiding can do such amazing things, you know, we have videos about how to keep your hair healthy, how to keep your skin healthy, how to avoid getting infections and gross things like that in the pool. Another part of your body that actually has a really hard time is your hips, because the mermaid tail is putting so much pressure on your hips and you're keeping your legs together. It can almost be as bad as how we cross our legs all the time and how detrimental that can be. So it has a lot of effects on your pelvic floor, on your spine, on your lower back, on your stomach, on your bladder. So it's really good to be doing different exercises too that get you opening up that space so that you're not constricting it all the time. Because I actually find that when I do a lot of mermaid gigs, I end up with a lot of hip pain, right? So I'm kind of going all over the map with this video. I think it's my first video since my concussion, and that's what happens, is I tend to ramble a lot more than before. And I don't know if I've done a video since I've had my dental appliance out yet either. So I've still got braces, but you'll notice if you've been watching all my videos that in most of my videos I have this terrible lisp, and I sound like I've got like a candy stuck in the roof of my mouth. And that was because I had this horrible dental appliance. It was the one where you stick the key and you turn it. Oh, it was brutal. And then they put like a spacer in there afterwards. So I think around Christmas time they took it out. So it was so exciting. Yeah, and it's like August now, so halfway through 2016. If you didn't know already, I'm sure you may have seen from my other videos and from my Mermaid Monday video, etc., that I published another book. This one is called The Fishy Business Handbook for Mermaids. You can find it on lulu.com and halifaxmermaids.com and makemeamermaid.com. There's always discount codes, so make sure you check Mer Network for the thread for discount codes, or make sure you check makemeamermaid.com because there's a link to where you can find the discount codes. Don't ever pay full price for my books because there are discount codes all the time, and I still get my full payment from it, and it's just the company that publishes them takes the cut when they do the discount. So I'm not losing any money when there's a discount, so go for it. This third book goes with the first book. So the first book was written almost 4 years ago, and it's still got a lot of really awesome information and really important stuff, especially if you're brand new to being a mermaid, but it's also kind of a little outdated, so that's why we did the third one, to sort of bring this one up to par. But it also works like a workbook, so it's full of places where you can fill in the blanks yourself. And this is my proof copy, so it's got lots of writing in it, so I'll just see if I can find a spot here. There's a lot of pictures. I ran a bunch of polls in the community to like get some data to back up what I'm saying. So things like what kind of tails people buy, how much money are people making, how many men are working, stuff like that. So yeah, it's like a workbook. So you can fill in your information, and there's also new information in it, new stories, some funny stuff in there. It's like twice the size of my other books. Like you can put my other two together, and it's still not as big as this one. So if you find my videos helpful, I guarantee you'll find my books helpful, because my books are content that's not always in my videos, and they're much more elaborate, much more specific, and you can actually apply it to other small businesses as well. So I'm trying to, really help empower other entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have a request for So You Want to Be a Mermaid video, just leave me a comment in the comment section, but be sure you check out the playlist first so you can see everything that's there, because everything that you want may already be covered. Check out my cool Star Wars pants. I'm going to the gym. Yeah! I love them. Just had to show those off. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful, and leave me a comment and let me know what else you want to hear, and I'll try and get those Mermaid Monday videos up. And it's just a busy season for the Halifax Mermaids. We have mermaid school, and then we went into summer, so it's just been crazy. And now I'm going to go see Suicide Squad, so love you guys.